Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Apple, my co-host / co-founder Vincent, we dive into stream service. We tell you, the listener and the viewer, what is worth it and what is not. My voice is sounding soulful today.
Yeah, you had a late night last night, so that's probably...
I had a late night last night because I was just thinking about Batman V.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to tell you. I was thinking about Batman V, but also I was just thinking about we changed the setup a bit. As you can see behind Vincent, it is open in here.
Is it too bright out there?
No. It looks more lively back there, you know?
Yeah.
You look good. Your neck looks a bit long though. Because it's the lighting, not your actual neck. Your neck's not long.
Oh.
But it's just what it is. Okay. And I like it.
All right. That's good.
Vincent, we're here today, man, to talk about 2016's very own Batman v Superman.
This is the 7-year anniversary. Well, last week.
Last week it was, yeah.
Last week.
On the because I believe in we always thought that this came out on the 20th of April.
Yeah.
But in the United States, this actually came out on the 25th of March, 2016.
But we're not in the United States.
We're not in the United States. But here's the thing that I want to just tell people off the bat, just right off the bat. This is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This is 2016's very own. We are not going to be doing the Ultimate Edition because I'm assuming you didn't watch the Ultimate Edition.
Bro, I barely watched the regular edition. I got stories about that, let me tell you.
But also, I do want to talk about the Ultimate Edition and the differences between those.
Yeah.
Now, this is a retrospective, as all reviews that we do are, because most of them aren't new movies.
We don't normally predict, how movies are going to go.
Well, yeah, and I think there's a reason for that is because we've talked about this and we've said when we get out of a movie, our opinions in a week will change dramatically from what we said right at the gate.
Yeah.
Vincent said he would fight a man to watch that again. But then a week later, he'll be like, violence isn't the answer, But here, I'm going to just give you some facts. We'll get into it. Because you've got notes, is what we're hearing.
Yeah, I've got a bulge note. Man, this looks like real zoomed in. Not zoomed in, the other one.
Zoomed out. So this has got, let me get this up. This has got a 6.4 out of 10 on the IMDb. It's got a 92% on the Rotten Tomatoes.
I was looking at different reviews then.
Oh, sorry. Did I say 92%? I meant to say 29. I just flipped them.
Yeah, well, I was going, geez, I was looking, mine, I don't know what movie, I mean, look, we like I said, we'll talk about that, but,
Dude, look, I had a late night. I'm seeing 6s and they're 7s. That's what I'm saying,
I mean, that's why, 6 is afraid of 7.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And that's what we'll get into a bit later because there is fear in this. This had a budget of $250 to $300 million and it made $873.6 million.
Do they actually tell people, hey, this is what it costs to make this movie?
No.
Or do people just speculate?
I think it's all estimates based on Ben Affleck, he going to be getting 10. Henry Cavill, he going to be getting 8. Someone's there just doing the numbers.
They're just throwing a few millies at the wall and seeing what sticks. You reckon Ben's got 10? No, I reckon Ben got 11. We'll call it 10.5.
Ben would have got somewhere between 10 and 11. We'll call it 10.5. Now, Ben, in this movie, we'll get into him. What I want to talk about, we're going to talk about the reviews initially, but I had to look through the reviews. There was too many smart people doing smart reviews on there.
Yeah, we don't need that.
If there was someone talking about how this is a portal to hell, this movie, then I would have read that. And we would have dived into that and other conspiracy theories. But we won't get into that. I do want to talk about what we thought of this movie when we first watched it back in 2016 in the cinemas when we were in the Maxibon. You remember that, man?
Maxibon
that was good. Dude, we snuck that in.
Yeah, but I don't think that was we thought we snuck that in, but realistically, I think you should bring things in.
I think you can show them, I got 6 Maxibons right here.
Yeah.
And I got 6 friends.
Oh, look at these. I've bought them all for considerably lower than your markup here.
You've got the trench coat with another human being below you because you want to be taller. You want to get the 2 tickets for 1.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about how our opinions of this movie have changed and whether they have changed. But Vincent, you've got notes.
Oh, no, we can go through them as we go. They're just comments of why can't Batman make a Batmobile, but it's like a compact car. you know?
Like just to easily get around town?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that Batmobile is huge.
I mean, you get him into a Punto.
That's right.
Yeah. I was
You
about
get
to call
a Fiat Punto. No,
That's right.
that's the one.
Yeah. You'll be getting around town. You'll be doing parallel parks like it's nothing. So one of the things that I also want to talk about is the portrayal of Batman by Ben Affleck and the portrayal of Superman by Henry Cavill. And then, most importantly, I think one that is probably most controversial is the portrayal of Lex Luthor by the one and only, the incomparable Mr. Eisenberg.
Yes, Jesse Heisenberg.
But let's get into this, man. Let's get right into this. So back in 2016, we went to the cinemas, we watched this. And going in, we knew what the reviews were looking like. The reviews weren't looking good.
Yeah, we knew people didn't like this movie.
Even though this movie, when they did an in-house screening of it, it had like a 3-minute standing ovation.
I think that's hilarious. They said that about Joker as well, didn't they?
I
remember reading some tweet that was like, "Yeah, no, I was in the pre-release screening. You know, got a standing ovation. Like, you know, my mum was there. She was crying."
Was this for Joker or for Batman v Superman?
I think it was Joker. I just remember someone tweeted something.
Yeah,
and it was just a joke to say, "Hey, like this is fantastic." Like taking the Mickey
out of it.
Taking the Mickey, the absolute Mickey Blue Eyes.
Now, here's the Mickey Blue Eyes of that. I do remember those tweets as well. And it was like, yeah, you know, there was a round of applause for 20 minutes after seeing the Joker.
Yeah.
No one's doing a round of applause.
Because who are you applauding?
I understand when you're like, you know, if you're doing like a screening, the director's there, he's walking up to stage, like to talk about
Ben's
it.
Ben's saying, there. Hey, look, I didn't actually get 10.5, I got 10.8.
So adjust the figures. That's why it's 250 to 300 mil, because you don't know. But I can understand that. How are you going to do 10 minutes? How are you going to do minutes?
I'm not clapping for more than 25 seconds.
One, my hands are going to start like, you're going to get that feeling at your palms that you've been hitting something for 10 minutes. And two, what are the other people doing up there? Like, what's Ben doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking, I'm in my mind, I'm trying to picture a situation where you'd be clapping for an extended period of time. And I think if you know, someone's walking up to stage and they're then, you know, shaking hands with heads and, you know, giving people hugs and saying, "Oh, this is fantastic" to other heads.
Yeah. And
they just keep clapping because they're going, "Well, we started now," and like, man's are still going.
And this is one of the reasons why they say, like, hold your applause to the end. But like, they've never seen ethnic families before. Like, you reckon you're going to hold their applause? You reckon you're going to hold them? Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. Like, what is Ben Affleck doing up there? Like, he just smoking cigarettes and looking uncomfortable?
Oh man, I watched a video the other day of doing the rounds where he was taking pictures. Dude, that was hilarious. I didn't even know where I saw that. But
yeah, dude, I saw that as well. It came up on my Twitter. It's just Ben Affleck with all these fans around him and they're all wanting to take pictures. He just looks unhappy.
And he wants to just smoke his cigarette.
And that's what he's doing, like in between like the next person coming up.
He's getting just a small puff. Yeah.
I mean, you know, we talk about how being famous would be great, but like if you're in that situation, it would suck, you know? I mean, I'd love it. I'd love it.
Because you don't smoke cigarettes.
I don't smoke cigarettes.
So they got nothing to interrupt.
No. Unless like I'm running, like if they run with me, like that's fine. But if they're stopping me to take a photo while I'm running.
And if they can't keep your pace, that's no good.
I mean, I'm running pretty slow at the moment. Yeah, I'm in there for the long haul. Just like this movie, which is quite a long movie, so we should get into it.
Yeah, this was what, 2 hours and 30 minutes?
Yes, it's got some length to it. And
2 hours and a half hour.
And this is what a lot of the criticism was back in 2016 and today, is that this movie is a big movie because it has to be, because it's Batman v Superman, right? But unfortunately what it does is it brings so many different stories together into one space. So you have the Batman v Superman story where it's like, hey, what's going to happen? Why is Superman and Batman fighting? What's going on?
Why is it V, not versus?
Exactly, man. And like, look, you type in versus.
Because, you know, old Roman heads will look at that and go, Batman 5 Superman.
Like, that's his fifth Batman movie, but nah, Superman's in it.
And they'll give it 29% on Rotten Tomatoes.
They'll give it 29% and I'll give it 92%. One of the other reasons is because, you know, you've got the Doomsday Death of Superman story, and then you've also got the Dawn of the Justice League.
Yeah, I don't think it's, you know, bad to. Overall, I think this movie actually did well considering the amount of things they were trying to hit.
It did do. Oh well, look.
You know,
here's
they
the
were
thing.
playing whack-a-mole and they got like 5 out of 8 moles.
And if you get 5 out of 8 moles, you get about 20 tickets, man.
That's right.
You'll
You're getting
one
a
of
key ring. You're getting like
Yeah.
one of them bouncy balls.
or them hands that you slap people with.
That's what I was thinking. What was the other thing? I was thinking some sticky thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
the hand one, which lasts all of 15 minutes because then it's just got like hairs and
Oh, dude.
dust.
And you go to some people's houses and it's been stuck on the roof. And you're like, brother,
I haven't
please.
seen that, but I wouldn't be walking straight out.
I mean, if they got high roofs as well, like who's getting to that? You can get a ladder on the carpet.
I mean, if that's an ethnic head, no ladders on the carpet.
That's no ladders on the carpet.
Because that carpet just got cleaned 6 months ago.
And professionally.
And professionally.
So, look, we'll get into what we thought about each of the things. But what the people were saying was that you have these iconic characters and you've sort of just smushed them together really quickly without building towards it. And one of the reasons that they did is because, like, Marvel was like in the mix of making, you know, leading into Infinity War. I think at the time it was Captain America 3, sorry. The one where it's like, hey, we'll fight each other, Civil War. That was happening at that same time as Batman v Superman.
Yeah, because when was Infinity War? Was it
Infinity War was a
2018?
couple. It might have been 2018. It might have been 2018.
Yeah, the issue was, they wanted to catch up to Marvel, but they wanted to take the shortcut.
Yeah, you get Ben Affleck in there.
That's right. And then the issue is that they didn't have all the leading movies to tell the different stories that they wanted to tell. So they said, hey, like, can you get me a Superman story? And Mans came in with like 6 different comic books and he said, yeah, we'll do them.
Yeah, because, you know, if you put, let's say you just, you take a step back, you get Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, which for the most part is a good movie until the end where it all
Did the
falls
first
apart.
Wonder Woman, that came out before this?
I'm pretty sure that came out after, right?
See, I think that's better that it came out after.
See, I think it would have been better if it came out before.
Nah. I've got things to say about Wonder Woman in this film.
Are you saying because of her reveal? Maybe it did. Can you check if it came out? Check if it came out before.
Wonder Woman movie.
Because one of the big issues with this movie and with Wonder Woman, which we'll get into, is like how she's shot, not with a gun, but just like with how the director shoots.
2017. So it came out the year after.
Okay. Well, one of the reasons I think, like, if you are to change these things, if you start putting like these origin movies before, so you're like, hey, Wonder Woman's here, Wonder Woman's doing Wonder Woman things. We know this character now, and I'll talk about what I think of her reveal. And then you have your Superman movie, but then you have like a solo, like Batman, he's in Arkham Asylum, just smacking criminals in the head, just giving them brain damage, right? For a whole movie.
Hold on, you're saying...
Like these movies that could happen before Batman v Superman.
Oh, okay. If he's just got a bunch of criminals just lined up and he just holds out his hands and just smacks them all in a line.
Like they're in the thing where it's like you get a head in there and you're like, which of these criminals did the criminal stuff to you? And you just...
Which of these criminals did the criminal stuff? Did you do the criminal stuff?
And he just smacks them all just to get something out.
And Dana White's there giving him $200 every slap.
Well, exactly, because you get 200 play, 200 win. And you lead up to this movie, I think that it might have been better received, but also they wouldn't have to just squish everything in. Because when we watched it, and to this day, I think that Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman is goated.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Because he's got a grey suit.
I know.
He's got a grey and black suit, and it kind of looks funny because he's so big.
He's just roided up.
He's just roided up. He's on TRTs.
Oh, dude. If there's a T, he's got it. In him.
Jeez.
In him.
But that's, I mean...
He's a cool character.
I think Batman in this movie... And the other thing is Alfred is top tier. I really like Alfred because man's been doing this for 20 years. Or however long, he's been doing it for a while. This is what another thing that I like about this film is that they had Batman. He's cynical. He's been doing this and he's going, it's not getting any better. I'm getting older and it's not getting any better.
He's branded people. He's beaten people.
Yeah, that's right. He killed at least 50 to 70 people.
I mean,
they didn't put that because they didn't put that with the budget. But we'll speculate.
We'll talk about the two scenes later about Batman: the car chase scene, and then also the fight scene in the
Saving Martha
scene, because both of those, like, there's death.
Yeah,
there's death.
But what I was going to say about Alfred is fantastic because he's cynical as well. He's going like, I can't do anything. I can't stop him.
Like I see it's getting to a point where it will be over for
Yeah.
you, but like I've been in it from the start. I got to try to fix this
Yeah, and he's just, he's got sarcastic remarks out of here,
at the wazoo, if you will.
out the wazoo.
It's also nicer to see, it's nicer to see something different. Now, Christian Bale, the Dark Knight series was obviously one of the best superhero series of all time. Like,
Yeah.
not only loved by just fans, but also critically, right? But you could have fallen into the trap of just making the same movie.
Yeah.
And just being like, hey, Batman needs to be sleek. He needs to be, he needs to be whatever he needs to be. Whatever he needs to be, the Christian Bale. You need an older, wiser gentleman being your Alfred. But this Alfred looks like he could kick some.
Well, that's in some of the comics, and I'm not a comic connoisseur, but I've read a bunch of the iconic Batman comics, and Alfred in a lot of them, he's former MI6. Man's been around.
I mean, he's Mr. Pennyworth.
He's Mr. Pennyworth.
Yeah.
And at one point he like beat up the Joker in one of the comics, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there was one scene there. I remember there was one thing where like someone did something to Batman, and he just went in there and just started like pieced them up.
He just went all MI6 on him.
He went all MI6 on him, and I think that's great. And I think that seeing that they've made a Pennyworth TV show, which apparently is fine. But there's all these DC TV shows which are just
That'd be hilarious if it was just a Pennyworth TV show and it's just him doing Butler things.
like the ins and outs of Butler things.
It's just the ins and outs of Butler things.
And he like sees a sticky hand on the roof. He's like, bro, I got to bring the ladder in.
Oh, geez, they play whack-a-mole again.
So I do think that you're right in saying, you want to see that spry. You want to see a different version of these characters because that's what comics are.
Yeah.
You have one comic which is classic Batman, like everyone knows, and then you have another comic where Batman's like fighting the Predator, and that's a comic. That's a real comic.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
There's some wild ones because at the end of the day, they just bring out comics. They keep doing it.
If you've thought of an idea, it's in a comic.
Yeah, and the thing is, they don't take as long as they don't have to get so many heads together like a movie.
You're a fan of Greenlight Comics, right?
I'm a fan of Greenlight Comics,
which is a comic book store, great comic book store, like support local in South Australia.
Yeah.
I was watching a video from their Instagram one day, and it was just like, "Hey, this is a comic book about just people at a school. They're just doing school things."
Yeah.
Like that's a whole comic.
Yeah, there's whole comics about. Honestly, you think of a story, it's done.
It's done.
They've completed it.
Let's get into. I want to hear your thoughts of when 2016 versus now.
So I thought this movie's fantastic.
Oh, I still think it is.
I think 29%. That's incorrect. I think you're correct on there, 92%. I don't know. There's just something about it that is just enjoyable. There are definite parts that you go, that could have been cut or they could have done this better. But I think overall, it's a top tier movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've really changed much since then. And I probably watched it one time in between, but going into it this time, I was going, oh, okay, it's probably not going to be as good as I remember. I think it's just as good.
Yeah, I think that this movie falls off a little bit in some of the bloating.
Yeah.
There's a lot of aspects of the story that are in there to progress the plot, but also they add an element of confusion. And part of that is because, like, if you watch the original edition versus the Ultimate Edition.
The Ultimate Edition is the 4-hour one or something.
It's like 3 hours or something, yeah. And they add in more elements to, like, at the start of the movie when Lois and Jimmy Olsen are in the Middle East somewhere and they're doing Middle Eastern things.
Jimmy Olsen?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's not named that he's Jimmy Olsen.
Is that the guy that gets shot?
The guy that has the camera and he's got things in it.
Because there was a whole comic about Superman and Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Olsen is like Superman's mate.
Yeah,
and Lois's mate from the Weekly Planet, from the
Daily Planet.
Daily Planet. Weekly Planet, better podcast than ours. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. It explains why they did that first scene where like bodies are being burnt, and there's this lady who was in that space who said, "Hey, Superman came in, just killed us all, and started burning bodies."
Yeah,
like, even though there's bullets in the heads of these bodies, like Superman did it.
Yeah.
Right. And then she later comes out and speaks against the people that had wronged her and had actually killed her village.
So it's really just her it's just her movie.
She's got a thing in the background, which I think it obviously connects things, but it also bloats it even more.
Yeah, see, I feel like that's actually worse because that part of, they blame Superman for destroying this village and killing all these people. It didn't really make a lot of sense because you thought, well, you saw the scene with Lois Lane.
Yeah.
You saw that those mercenaries started shooting heads and then it was just Superman, a bad guy.
That's right. And then the Superman, and the reason they do this is to sort of put fear into people's hearts about who Superman is and whether he's going to be a threat to society, And one of the things that's added to that is when there's that explosion inside the Capitol building, wherever it is, and Superman's in there, he's just in the flames.
That was a wild scene. We'll talk about that later, but that was one of the best scenes of this.
And there's a part
movie.
where he's in amongst it, and they're like, Superman, your dog, you've killed us all, your dog, and he just flies off. There's that bit just after it. In the extended cut, and this is another thing that just adds like 5 more minutes to the movie, he's in there like, hey, is everybody all right? Hey, let me help this person. I'm going to lift this rock, doing like Superman things. And then someone says that and he flies away. You're putting in all these little things, which I get because you have to progress that Batman is afraid of Superman and wants to just beat him up. But I think they did so much more when Batman or Ben Affleck sees the damage that is happening in the initial battle.
That was funny because, he's on the phone with Jack.
Who the hell Jack?
Yeah, that's what I was, he's going, and then he can't connect, and then he looks at his building and he's like, Jack. I'm thinking, who's Jack?
Jack's the old dude, right?
I know. That's right. He's the old dude. He's, I don't know, the manager or whatever, the head honcho there.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because I'm thinking, I don't know Jack. I don't know if Bruce even cares about Jack, or if he's like, man, I'm going to have to pay life insurance. He's got so many grandchildren, man. I don't know if he's thinking about the financial implications of that.
I mean, he could be.
Or if it's, he was his dad's best friend or something.
Also, Jack's like pretty blasé. Jack's not like, Jesus Christ, I've got to get out of here. He's like, hey, Bruce, like, we're good up here. Oh, my God, he's coming.
Yeah.
And then he's dead.
Oh, my God, he's coming. Yeah, but I mean, that was the first time they had Superman flying through the city with General Zod.
That's true. I think that scene alone was enough for Batman to be wary. And sorry, not that it was that alone, but it painted a better picture than all these other little tidbits of like, hey, Batman might have just killed this African village.
Batman didn't do that, but
Superman might have just killed this Middle Eastern. Man, I should sleep like more.
I should sleep. Well, you can go to sleep. I'll take it from you.
You continue from here.
I'll tell you exactly what needed to be cut from this movie. All right, from the time of 1 hour and no, so the Batman parents dying. I don't know why they put that in that movie.
Yeah,
that was absolutely useless because we've seen it before, and it didn't even add anything. It was just slow motion like pearls.
There's no payoff other than the fact, like for this movie, other than the fact that you hear Martha, at the end, and you know that Martha's going to play a role in this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's not enough.
No, that's right. And then also when he sends Bruce sends the files to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And they're watching all the different things.
Origin stories.
What purpose does that serve? That's absolutely useless.
This is how you get to Justice League without having to do more movies.
Yeah, but they didn't have to do more movies. That could have been an after credit scene. He said the thing at the end where he was going, "We've got to get together a team," and Wonder Woman was like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
And he's saying, I've got a feeling or whatever, which is, that's enough, I think, to lead into the other one. You don't have to go like, hey, oh, geez, Aquaman, he's got nice hair.
And look, I've got his logo set up as well.
That's a big fork. Yeah, that's right. I've already got a logo for him.
And dude, here's the thing, right? The Flash one, fine. The Cyborg one, bit silly. Like, it's just Cyborg going like, oh, I'm Cyborg now. Oh my God, I'm getting electrocuted.
We see like alien technology. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then the Aquaman one is man's coming out of a hole and just going up to a cameraman with his fork and then just I'm assuming killing the cameraman.
I think it would have been a drone.
It might have been a drone
situation.
But the way that he comes out just looks so awkward and doesn't really show anything.
He was hiding there. You found me.
But I know they probably said like on the thing, there was probably some things that was like, this is, thousands of meters deep. But it doesn't show Aquaman's powers.
Yeah.
It's just a man with a fork.
It's a big fork though.
I mean, it's a big fork and like, he's holding that.
And he's holding that. Yeah, that could have been cut completely. It could have.
Even as an after credit scene, it's just garbage. Because we can be like, they're here, You say that in the movie.
Yeah, that's right. You could have just left it as nothing in terms of just show that he found that photo or whatever. Hey, it is you. Some of the stuff in this movie was a bit corny, but I mean that's content for everyone. But they could have left it as it just showed the logos of the heads. Hey, look, I got my graphic designer just to whip up a few things.
But even the logos of the heads, like if he just ends off with like I'm setting up a team, we'll get there.
Yeah, Anyway, we can talk about that for.
And here's part of the another issue that I think this movie that holds this movie down is that Lex Luthor, right? Like you have a name Lex Luthor, right? You're a character that has thought through things well. The Lex Luthor in this movie, obviously he's meant to be like a Mark Zuckerberg type.
Yeah,
that's
because he played Mark Zuckerberg. They say, hey, you did, what you did in the Social Network? Yeah, do it here, but you have long hair.
That's exactly right, dude. You were the first to put it together, but I mean, most people probably put it together, but you were the first in this room at least. And one of the things that I think they also told Jesse Eisenberg in this movie and said to Lex Luthor is just be that toxic person in a friendship group. Be the toxicity. Be the person that just goes up to one person and goes, hey, listen, man. Batman said you're looking fat.
Batman said you put on a few pounds, bro.
I didn't say it. Like, I think you look good, but he said it, dude. I just, and we live in a world where, we want body positivity and he doesn't want that for you.
He doesn't want that for you.
So
he's standing against you and also body positivity. So you can hit him twice.
Punch him twice for me, please. Because, if he's saying that about you, what's he saying about me?
Hey, but for real, Jesse Eisenberg, the first time you see Lex Luthor, he's in there. Hey, all right, let me just sink a 3. All right, 7 to my office. I'll feed you a gummy bear.
When do you see a man that's doing tech things, shooting 3s? One, he's a new age tech dude.
He's a new age tech dude. He's got ping pong tables in the break room. Like heads don't do any work. They just sit on weirdly shaped furniture.
I will say there was something nice about those Instagram, TikTok videos, Twitter videos, whatever, of people in these tech and like internet companies talking about what they do in a day. It's like my day at Twitter, and the person rocks up and is like,
and it's just Elon Musk yelling at him.
Well, no, this is pre Elon.
That'd be funny if they did it's my day at Twitter. 7 a.m. wake up, 9 a.m. get to work. And it's just like doing work, and it's just Elon just in the background yelling at everyone. My spaceship just flipping blew up. I need some money.
He's paying LeBron James for verification. He's paying LeBron James. Or he's paying his verification on Twitter.
Yeah, because LeBron isn't going to pay.
No.
That's hilarious.
But in these Twitter videos, it would just be people like rocking up and they're like, yeah, so the breakfast buffet was open, so I had eggs Benedict with a side of wholemeal toast. Then I went and just did a quick morning yoga before I got into some work. After that, we had a big event for lunch, so we had sausage rolls, pies and parsley,
fairy bread.
We pinned the tail on something. Let me tell you that much. And then, that's their day.
Yeah.
Their day is just, doing no work and doing, yoga.
Yeah, and you know why you saw them 2 years ago, you don't see them now?
It's because Elon's in there.
It's not because Elon's in there. It's because, none of those heads are there because they're going, what are we paying these heads for?
Oh, they ain't getting jobs anymore doing that sort of stuff. And, I mean, that's fair enough, dude. I mean, if you're out here, you're doing yoga at 9:30 on your work day, or in work hours, that's good mental health. But also, that's not good mental wealth. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that could be good wealth because they're making money and they're doing yoga.
It's a wealth of knowledge as well because yoga is not about just the body, it's about the mind.
So you said they're not getting they're getting mental health, but they're not getting mental wealth, but then they are because they're doing yoga.
Because you said, but it is. And I added another point to help your point.
Okay.
Because I'm a friend. I'm not like Lex.
You're not like Lex.
You know? But yeah, I don't.
Batman, like, if you want to beat out Superman, I'll throw a few punches as well.
I don't think that Lex Luthor's plan in this was well thought out.
No. So I think the biggest part of this movie that I kind of looked at retrospectively, because, you know, that's all we can do here.
This is a retrospective.
This is a retrospective. Was the entirety of the how Batman v Superman came to be. Because the whole movie, you know, at the end, you're kind of going, oh, okay, Lex had this plan. And you're thinking back and you're going, what the hell was the plan? Because it sounded like he was connecting dots, but they weren't there. And the issue is that this movie is not one that you're going to go, oh, gee, see that in the background? See that guy playing ping pong? He was playing ping pong with the dude, like the mercenary who had Martha in the headlock.
Yeah.
Right? And then Dana White was there still. I don't know why Mans is still there. You know? But stuff, and it's not a movie that you're going, oh, the director, man.
Oh, no, you're not doing chef's kiss.
You can't. It's a movie that it needs to be, hey, at the end, I'm going to give you these last few puzzle pieces and you're going to go, okay, that was the plan. I understand how that followed. You know, A followed from, that's the first letter
But really,
so that doesn't follow from anything.
But you know what? Why is the alphabet in an order?
I don't think we've got time to get into that. Yeah.
It's just what I'm saying here. You know, the other thing is, what was you're saying like in the last 3 minutes it all fell apart. It all came together. But what?
No, I'm saying it didn't come to, as in, you know, when he was on the top of the building with Lois and he was talking about, hey, I need him to fight him and, you know, then I'll move my rook to R4.
Yeah.
And, you know, there you go. Let's set the timer. We're all good. But it didn't make sense.
Like Mans was out here not doing Queen's Gambit.
I haven't seen that movie, but he wasn't doing it.
Yeah. So you're right. And it, you know, you could have just said like, hey, Martha's involved and like, you got to get your mum back. Yeah. Like, I've taken your mum captive. You have to fight Batman. That's that. You say that from the start. Yeah,
because that was the end, and Lex Luthor was trying to pit Batman against Superman, but
he did. I mean, I don't think he managed to get Batman against Superman, but Batman was in that point ready to fight Superman.
That's right.
Regardless.
He was already there. But no, because then he was talking about, hey, you know, a bunch of, you know, red writing on like checks or whatever, because that guy that worked at Wayne. That had the wheelchair that blew up the Capitol building. You know, that's what I mean. There were bits that you go, okay, these should be the right puzzle pieces. You're looking at them and they got no size. That's just a square.
You're not putting anything together there.
You're not putting anything together.
You're placing it down, you're looking at it, you're thinking, how am I gonna fit this with the rest of what's going on here?
Exactly.
Yeah. Now we got
there's sirens here.
There's sirens. And maybe we'll write about, you know, noise cancellation in this room. Because that sounds like there's sirens in this room.
Yeah, that's... Jeez.
I mean, whatever we were doing before worked a bit better. But
yeah, I think we might need to go back to that.
We might need to go back to that. So, yeah. And these are the downfalls of this movie. This is why it's not rated as a higher movie, even though there's content in between that is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your Henry Cavill as Superman, which I think is a great Superman that didn't get his full, and you know, puns intended here, didn't get full justice of what he needed to do and what he was able to do. You got one of the best versions of Batman that I think. If it wasn't for, old mate, Rob Pattinson, I would say that this is my favorite version of Batman.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson kind of hit it out. But I do still think I like Christian Bale more just because I love those movies.
I think Christian Bale is a better Bruce Wayne, but his Batman is boring.
You reckon?
Yeah, dude. His Batman is boring. And look, a good movie is only as good as his villain, right?
Yeah.
And the villains in those movies were great.
Yeah, that's true.
The stories in those movies were great. The actors in those movies were like world class, top quality actors as well. But I think that Christian Bale's Batman was quite boring.
Okay.
You know,
I don't think so, but that's okay.
I think that Ben Affleck's Batman was fun.
I like how when Mans hit someone, it felt like he hit someone.
Well, when he hits that man into the wall, so in like one of the, when he's looking for Martha, when he hits that man into the wall and his head knocks back into the brick, and you just see blood splatter everywhere. Dude's dead. Like you know, you're not doing that in UFC and people getting back up.
He pulled his grappling gun and he shot a box and then threw the box at someone and it hit him square in the head. And that's it. That's lights out.
This is not like a cardboard box.
No. This is
like
a crate.
Yeah. He got shot in the head. Ben Affleck's Batman gets shot in the head and just starts just wailing on people. Point blank range, shot in the head.
Yeah.
And he's wailing on people. Remember that dude he throws to the ground? Dude's like neck snaps back.
Yeah.
Dead.
That dude that he punched, dead.
Dead.
Those, he landed a car on top of another car, dead.
But how good would it have been if we got a Batman movie? Like, no, don't worry about origin stories, whatever. But you see that scene when he's training to fight Superman. He's in there flipping tires and pulling things. And,
that was another thing that could have been out of the movie.
No, that was fantastic, dude. That is exactly what you want to see in this version of Batman that just mauls people to death. Like, he's like a bear. He's literally like a bear amongst
He's like
children.
a bear. Man's his arms are so far away from his body because his lats are probably that big.
Oh, dude. He's how does he move in that suit? It's crazy because dude's out here throwing tires around like he's doing weights that there's weights. The weights have weights on them. You know what I mean?
Weights have weights, bro. When your weights have got weights,
and he's not even worrying about whether that weight is going. He's just chucking off his back.
That was also funny where it was just the consecutive shots of him throwing the weights.
Yeah, dude, I loved it, man. I think that was the best personification of this version of Batman. Just a mean, hard-hitting Batman.
You see, I don't think you need to see Mans in the gym.
I love, dude. That. You're going to tell me you like bulge your muscles?
You love that because you're going to go in the gym and you're going to go there and you're just going to throw the weights off and then go, sir, you need to leave.
So we don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
This is a safe gym. No mirrors, no heroes. That's what we do here.
No mirrors, no heroes.
Yeah, they didn't really figure that out when they made that thing. And also, like, mirrors are good for, like, checking your form. Most of the time, they're not used for that, though. Because Hez would just be in the gym, they'll throw a weight. And I'll be like, that's probably good for my back.
Dana, what do you think?
Dana's here.
Dana's here.
I mean, this is Dana of Justice. It's not the Dawn.
It's not.
Yeah, so, look, I still really like this movie. And even though the extended edition is really bloated, I still really love the extended edition. The one scene that I want to talk about, and what could have this could have been a single switch of a word could have been made that would have allowed this movie to at least be rated maybe 2 points higher for a lot of people. The Martha scene. The famous Martha scene.
The famous Martha scene.
When Batman finally gets a hold, like he's on top of Superman. He's done everything that he can, which I think is great. Because really, like, in reality, if it wasn't for Batman's planning, he's been flicked into the sun.
That's right. And that's Batman's real superpower.
He's planning. That's right. And he has Superman there. He's cutting his face with this kryptonite thing. And then Superman says, "You have to save Martha." And he goes, "Why did you say that name?" And then Lois Lane rocks up from like she was in a water like feature at some point, and she rocks up and she goes, "Hey brother, he's that's his mum's name.
That's his mum's name.
His mum's name is Martha." And then Bruce goes, "Oh, he's a real person with a mother."
Yeah, I think I understand it just felt a bit, man, that's what he needs to do. Superman he just wants to save his mum at this point.
Why would he call her Martha though?
Save mum.
No, you'd say this. You need to save my mum. Oh, you wouldn't say you wouldn't say like let's say my father's name's Steve, right? Steve is dying. Help me, Steve. You wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You say my father, please.
I'm trying to think of what they could have done to improve that scene.
I mean, they could have just said like, "Steve, my father's dying."
Steve.
And everyone would have been on their toes thinking, who's Steve? Could have been the dude from the start that got hit by Superman.
Yeah.
Was that his name? Frank. The other part of that, who's the guy that died at the start?
Oh, Jack.
Jack.
R.I.P. Jack, man.
R.I.P. dude. He held up this movie. So they have that scene, which leads into one of the greatest scenes, which is when Batman goes into the to save Martha. But it could have been done better. There could have been other elements that showed Batman that Superman was just is a kid who grew up in wherever he grew up in Smallville.
He should have shown him his wallet and shown him the pictures like, hey, look, these are my family, it's my driver's license.
I'm driving, I can fly, but I still drive because I'm polluting just as well as anyone else. There could have been something else. In Batman's detective, and he realized I was blinded by rage. Like Lex Luthor's the bad guy.
Yeah, I think the switch was too quick. It was almost, for me, it wasn't the Martha. That's my mother's name. Oh, what a coincidence. That wasn't the part that threw me. It was Batman steps back and goes, "Oh my God, what have I done?" And it doesn't really. That transition doesn't really flow for me.
Yeah. Now, what did you think about the final battle?
So the final battle's, it's neither here nor there.
It's neither here nor
because
there.
they're just hitting. It's hilarious that POTUS says, "Hey, we're gonna launch the nuke. We might kill Superman." It's a business decision, and it's hilarious that they nuke the thing and he's Doomsday. Is that was
Doomsday? Yeah,
Doomsday, and then he's stronger.
He starts growing more horns and things.
He starts growing more horns, and as soon as something starts growing more horns,
yeah,
that's when you start saying your prayers.
The Doomsday comic is a boring one.
The Doomsday, I'll tell you right now. I read Death of Superman.
Yeah,
that is one of the worst comics I've ever read.
Yeah, it's not a fun comic. Yeah,
because it is this effectively Superman and some other heads. I don't even know who the hell these other people are. They're going from state to state in America, following Doomsday and punching Doomsday, and then Superman dies at the end.
Yeah.
It's honestly like they went for a road trip and they brought Doomsday along with them and punched him a few times.
And they said, "Listen, Superman, we're going to get to the end of this road trip. Like, the car's not going to die, but you will, because we're all driving here because we're doing pollution, but you will die at the end." Yeah. Look, the animated version, like the movie, is good fun. Because you see, just all these superheroes just getting pieced up by Doomsday, and then Superman comes through. He's like, "Brother, look, I'll fix him up." And then they both die there on the spot. But you're going to say something about this scene outside of Doomsday.
Yeah. So the Wonder Woman introduction in this movie is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. The Wonder Woman music theme is the best thing that any superhero movie has done music-wise. I'll say that right now. For all three of you to hear,
yeah,
like you and the other two people that probably will get to this point.
That's right.
It's the best scene the best superhero theme. And that introduction is...
And it's never done better.
Jeez.
It's never done better for Wonder Woman, like the use of that music and what she's doing.
The only one that's, I think, another top-tier Wonder Woman scene is in Justice League when she comes in and saves the kids from I don't know, some building.
Oh, when there's a dude with the bomb.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh, that was cool.
Nah, dude. The best Wonder Woman scene,
yeah,
is the dead man's, in Wonder Woman the movie. Like Wonder Woman, aka the movie. There's a scene in which they can't get past that point because they're just getting shot up every time they try to move. And she just goes through there. She's dodging bullets.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty good as well.
That's unbelievable.
No, I think I like the Justice League one a lot, but this one's unbelievable. She comes in, she saves Bruce, she's there, and you just hear the music kind of come in, and it gradually gets louder.
The big issue with Wonder Woman, and comic book nerds love it because they're in their houses with waifus and stuff, but they
got a life-size pillow. And we won't say what's on the pillow, but you know what's on the pillow.
You know what's on the pillow.
And you know what else is on the pillow that didn't come with the pillow.
Oh, damn. And this has been back a lot.
We talk about Cheetos. Hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos, yeah. And because it's on their fingers, man.
Yeah, you can't get that off.
So when Wonder Woman is presented, right? She's an Amazonian, right?
Yeah.
She's been battling for millennia. Their people have been battling for years and years. and she's wearing like most of her body's exposed.
Yeah.
Right? I understand why they're doing it because, like, as we said, waifus, right? There's heads that watch these movies, they're looking for that. They then change that in the Wonder Woman movie. That's directed by Patty Jenkins. You know, you got a woman at the helm.
Yeah.
They're going to realize, hey, look, maybe Wonder Woman doesn't need to have all this skin showing just for the waifu people.
Yeah, because, I mean, we're not going to get into this.
But then I'm going to get into what I want to get into real quick. Then for Justice League, he just reverts back.
Yeah, because what's his name directed it?
That's because like Skis Bag McGee.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What's the dude's name? Who cares at this point?
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
He's Skis Bag McGee, though.
Skis Bag McGee.
You know, and that's neither here nor there for him, but that is here for us.
But yeah.
But yeah, what a great scene. What a great scene when Wonder Woman comes in.
I wish the Wonder Woman movie was better.
The first one?
The first one.
Well, the end
was
falls
the ending.
down.
That's
real bad, though.
Real bad, yeah. And I haven't seen the second one.
Unfortunately, it's as bad as Doomsday in this movie.
That's a shame.
Because one thing, remember we were in the cinemas and like they had the trailer for this, for Batman vs Superman, and we saw Doomsday? Was I with you?
I don't know. I can't
Anyway, the look of Doomsday, horrible.
Yeah.
He looks like a something from the Lord of the Rings that wasn't done well.
Yeah, and they forgot to put the armor on one of the trolls.
Yeah, one of the cave trolls, that's right.
Yeah.
Also, when you've seen Doomsday, and he starts to develop those spikes in this movie, but when we've seen Doomsday in like the comics, like the iconic images of Doomsday, he's got all them spikes. He's almost looking like he's hairy. He's got that many spikes on him. He looks cool. He looks like scary. And then this dude is just like, man's just hasn't been airbrushed properly on the Photoshop.
He looks like Play-Doh.
Yeah. He looks like what we would have made in primary school.
Because you go, oh, don't worry. I know, red and blue makes purple. Don't worry, I'll make even better color, and it just ends up Doomsday color because you just mix them all. And then Warner Brothers goes, I'll take that.
That's a check. That's why it's 250 to 300. That's a lot of Play-Doh.
That's a lot of Play-Doh. But yeah, Doomsday it sucks, and it sucks that I think for the whole movie, it does suck that it just came up to there's a bad guy we have to beat. It's just the one dude, and that's it. But I understand. Why you got to do something like that. But it was, I don't know. It was, and at the end, the ending, Superman dies, yada, yada, yada. They do, funerals and things like that. Hey, Superman was such a good man, whatever.
Yeah.
It felt like they were going for the same kind of impact as what Tony Stark did in Avengers. Mans goes up there, he blows up all the aliens. It saves the humanity from... But this was just like, it's just one thing. He might have done countless numbers of, war crimes that they can't try him for because he's not of this world.
Yeah.
But it just felt like they were trying to go for something that was, hey, humanity is forever grateful for Superman for doing this thing to save the whole world. But it saved, Metropolis or whatever.
That's right, yeah. And Gotham, because apparently they're real close to each other.
Yeah.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump away. No, the ending of this movie is then further just put down by the fact that you're like, yeah, man, Superman dead, man, he's dead. But maybe he's not.
Yeah, I feel like they did that thinking of something else, and then they didn't do that something else.
And also, he doesn't even come back by himself.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But maybe it's the gravitational pull of the Earth ended up reviving him.
But then when he comes back in the Snyder cut of Justice League with the black suit.
Yeah, Snyder cut that was a good movie.
It's a good movie.
That was a good movie. And we did a video, we did a whole podcast on
We did a whole podcast on that.
And that was a retrospective as well.
It was, because we just watched it.
We had just watched
But
it.
retrospectively, we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. That was Batman v Superman.
I've got some things to say, bro. Well, let me have a look.
Say your notes.
Yeah, I'm just going to check. I'm just going to double check. I'm just going to double check. Oh, did you see the dude that had an alien and then a picture of an alien on the side of his head?
Yeah.
In one of the, I mean, that that's 250 to 300 million.
I mean, if you're going to be doing that, that's money, man.
That was hilarious.
That's money. Shout out your barber,
The Granny's peach tea, iced tea. That whole, let me just reiterate, that whole Capitol building scene was unbelievable.
I don't know about unbelievable because that man rocks up on a fly wheelchair just to get blown up.
No, because it was, yeah, that's not part. As in the whole, she's there and she's saying, you can't do this, and then she sees the cup,
piss in the cup.
yeah, and sees the label, and that was intense.
Does it make it better that she's like Mrs. Incredible, the Elastigirl?
Oh yeah, that's wild.
Right? She got an iconic voice.
She does.
Holly Hunter. Is it Holly Hunter? It could be Holly Hunter. But yeah, go on with your notes.
That's pretty much it.
You're gonna stop me. You're gonna stop me midway through this.
I wanted to just check. All right, I just wanted to check to see. What did you think of the
I just want to see if it's Holly Hunter real quick.
Batman? Future dreams or whatever of Superman being bad guy.
Yeah, dude, those were good.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I love that scene.
I mean, Desert Storm Batman.
Oh,
that's one of the all times.
That's the thing about this movie as well, right? What they opened us up to is that Batman could be in he got snow gear.
He's got so many outfits.
He's got outfits, and we only got to see really 2 parts of it. We got to see the regular, 3 really, because we got the regular Batman outfit. We got the
metal suit,
the Superman killing suit.
Yeah,
and then we got Desert Storm, Operation Desert Storm.
Right, that was
pretty cool.
That was cool, and that also, yeah, that did well because it was, it was in a bit of there's a large part of the movie, or it had a few minutes, but it further went into, hey, Superman's no good.
Yeah,
like Superman could be dangerous, and the Flash coming back. I think that was good.
Right.
The Flash. Lois is the key. Am I too late? Bro, I'm too late.
I'm too late. Oh, we're not doing this movie anymore?
I'm too soon.
It's not in continuity?
Oh,
yeah, damn.
Jeez.
So the Flash movie is still coming out?
Hasn't that come out yet?
It hasn't come out yet.
I thought that already came out.
Nah, because Ezra Miller just be doing Ezra Miller stuff.
Yeah, because we were talking about that, but I remember you saying that it's still coming out, but it hasn't come out.
It hasn't come out yet. But here's the thing. That was Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And it's been the back catalogue.
Talk soon.